Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Aphrodite's child. My new earrings arrived today, the Titanic ones. I really like them, and they have like the video at the back. So anyway, in today's video I am going to talk about Achilles. And I've just started to work with him. As you know, I use the term work for worship. And about 2 years ago I studied the Iliad, and before that I studied Homer and also the ancient Greek alphabet a week before. And it was all free, it was all on YouTube. I did a 6-week course on YouTube studying the Iliad. It was Robert Fagle's translation of the Iliad. Because I never did the classical world at school, so everything that I'm learning I'm doing now, and when I've done like diplomas and things. So everything that I'm doing now. So I studied the Iliad about 2 years ago. It was Robert Fagle's version. It was on YouTube. I was kind of through like an adult college education. And so I thought for this video it would be a good time to speak about Achilles and how I personally view him, what my personal offerings are to him, and what I could recommend in offerings to him, and what books to recommend to get to know about Achilles, movies to watch, and different translations of the Iliad to get you to know about Achilles as like a devotional act for him as well. And the thing with the Iliad is that there's many different translations out there, and it all goes on really which you find is the easiest for you to understand. Like I studied the Robert Fagle's translation of the Iliad, and it is easy, pretty much easy to understand. But the guy that run the course on YouTube, he went through the meaning of what was going on, you know, in each chapter, so it was easy to understand. So, and I also want to say that this video is dedicated to a very good close friend of mine, Eagle of Zeus. He also works with Achilles and Patroclus, and so this video is in dedication to him. So let's speak about a bit on Achilles' myth. So, as you know, that Achilles is son of Peleus and Thetis. There was a prophecy that Achilles' destiny was going to be short-lived, and obviously he is the great hero of the Trojan War. So Thetis took Achilles to the river Styx, and due to what she heard with the prophecy, she held him upright, so the lower half of his body was dipped into the river Styx whilst his heels were being held up in the air. So the only part of Achilles which wasn't placed in the river Styx was his heels, his ankles, which is his weak spot, so which would result into his death if it was to be struck by anything. And Charon was his teacher, who helped him train to be the greatest warrior that we know about him in the Trojan War. So Achilles and Patroclus, I personally see them as a lot more than blood brothers, as like lovers, as like partners. And there was also one in another myth of Achilles is where he disguises himself as a woman, which I think had something to do with Thetis advising him to do that. Yeah. And he also fought with Hector, and Hector was killed by Achilles. And Priam went to Achilles to ask him to allow him to give his son a proper burial. that he deserved the rights to have a proper burial as Prince Hector, as what we know him as. And at the end of Achilles' myth, he gets an arrow in his weak spot, which is his ankle, which was done by Paris, guided by Apollon. And in real life, Achilles was actually a real person, and his tomb was found. So I actually do have 2 pages of notes here. That's my first that I read from, if you wanted to know why I was looking down at something. And this is my offering sheet and how I personally view him and things like that. So his energy wise, I do feel that his energy is quite strong. I mean, you know, he is a warrior. So what I would personally offer him is poppies. Like, poppies are like associated with war, so I would associate him with poppies, like a UPG, SB juice, in case anyone also shares that. And my also UPG is roses. That's mainly because of the love that he had for Patroclus, and roses are a symbol of love. So I would associate that and rose quartz, which is also to do with love, but that's kind of like my UPG for that reason only. I would also offer him mermaids and merman statues, whiskey, like hard liqueur, meat, bread, milk, like anything that you would have available. Frankincense, myrrh incense, and if you don't have any alcohol, you could offer like black coffee, dark chocolate, even water. Because Achilles plays a musical instrument, the lyre, I would also offer him gifts of the lyre instrument, because he does have a thing for music and for lyres, so I would offer him a lyre. Also, a shield and sword, which a lyre and the shield and sword are kind of like my UPGs. And I would offer him like banquet meals, you know, with him being a warrior. And my devotional acts obviously would be to honour Patroclus, but I do see Patroclus as like the soul of Achilles. Like, you can't really literally have one without the other. They are kind of really connected. So it's kind of like accepting someone's human body without accepting their spirit at the same time. So they literally come as one. And also to learn about him through the Iliad, study the Iliad, to dedicate a playlist to him, pick collage, mood board. And as a UPG, we have Armed Forces Day every June, every year. And that's to celebrate those and honour those that died in the war. And those that have survived, like Dunkirk, and getting medals and things. So because I do associate Achilles as kind of like the Patreon, I do see him as a mortal. I don't really see him as a demigod and stuff, but I do see him as a mortal hero, pretty much like myself as mortal. But I do see him having like connections to those that were involved in the war. So I would dedicate as like a UPG, as a devotional act, to him attending Armed Forces Day, because I used to do World War II in school and I passed in Dunkirk. So it kind of really means a lot to me. And I would also offer him gold jewellery, silver jewellery, and Greek food as well. With him in Greek, I would also offer him Greek food as well. And to contact Achilles, I would do meditation with Achilles, oracle, the tarot and pendulum, and also he may come through in dreams as well. Signs and things from Achilles. I do think mortal heroes would send out signs, but I don't think you would need to worry about signs from them too much, because it's not as if you really need signs anyway. But I think that I received one yesterday, but I am double checking whether they can send out signs. So do keep an eye out, but do double check to make sure if they can also. So to how I personally view him, I personally view him as being bisexual. Lovers with Patroclus, but it would also be with a woman as well. I personally view him as being mortal. And his energy, like I've said, it is quite a strong energy, and he is a warrior, and he is also a very, very nice man. So, the books. So, we have here the Song of Achilles, which is a Greek myth retelling from Patroclus' point of view by Madeline Miller. I can recommend this one. Then we also have The Women of Troy by Pat Barker, which is speaking from Brassea's perspective. Also Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker, which I can really, really recommend. And then you've also got Troy by Stephen Fry. Then these are different translations of the Iliad. So we have the Iliad translated by Stanley Lombardo. Then have the Iliad by Caroline Alexander. And this is the one that I studied, which is the Iliad, the Robert Fagles translation. This is pretty easy to understand. I studied it, and I've got notes as well. When I did study this translation, I do love this. It's in Penguin, and I do love the deckled edges. I also studied the Odyssey as well, because they also did the course on the Odyssey straight after the Iliad. I do prefer the Iliad to the Odyssey. So the Odyssey is like the Odysseus' journey home to his wife Penelope. But me personally, I do prefer the Iliad. So the decks that I would personally use for messages and to contact Achilles would be also this one, the Rose Oracle, mainly because I do associate roses with him as a kind of like a UPG due to his love for Patroclus, and that's all about love and things, and rose quartz to do with love and everything like that. So I would use this one personally, but that's only going in the fact of his love that he has for Patroclus too. I would personally use this one. And also you have the Greek mythology reading cards as well, oracle deck that I would use, and also the mythic oracle deck as well that I would use for him as well, and also the pendulum set and tarot. And these are the films that I would recommend as well. So you've got Troy, the director's cut, and that's the non-director's cut. There's also Trifall of a City as well that I would also recommend, and Fury of Achilles from the 50s, which is also a film movie on YouTube, which I'm hoping to get on DVD, so that was also one I would recommend as well. It's a brilliant film. It's literally about Achilles, like literally about him. And that is everything on Achilles. So I am new to working with him, and I'm also in contact with my friend, my really, really good friend Egale of Zeus, who also works with him as well. When it comes, my advice is if you are looking into the Iliad, do go on the translation that suits you, because not everyone kind of understands the Robert Fagles version. They do find it hard to understand what's going on, so there are many translations. There's also Emily Wilson, who's recently done translation of the Iliad. She also did one of the Odyssey as well, so I am looking into getting her translation. So do tend to go through a few, just to see which one you can try, which one you find easier to understand. There are audio versions of the Robert Fagles Iliad on YouTube, free audio book that you can listen to, and but always go on which translation is going to suit you to get to know about Achilles. There's also a book called The Hero of Achilles, which I am looking in to get, which is all about the story of Achilles. So that would be a good way to look into him and to find out more about him, to start working with him. So that's everything, guys. I hope this video has kind of helped you out if you are new to working with Achilles, or if you do work with Achilles and just wanted to know other people's perspective of how they view him and what offerings they would personally use for him and what their UPGs and SPGs are, and the incenses they would offer him. But basically just offer whatever you've got. It doesn't need to be a lot, even a glass of water, or even some bread or even some fruit that you have, anything, they're not going to turn it away, just anything that you've got or anything that you can afford to give. Some of my offerings, they can also be from the charity shops or even, incenses that you've got. Just use whatever you've got. They're very appreciative. It's not as if they generally ask for anything. It's just basically you're saying thank you, for what they've been doing for us and helping us and being there for us. So they're not expecting anything in return for what they do. It's just basically us giving out thanks to them. So there you go, guys. I hope that's helped you out, and I do hope you all have a lovely day, and may the gods bless you all.